Hello students, today we will learn sequences and series. This chapter and this module is especially for commerce students. What is sequence? Sequence means any arrangement of numbers is called sequence. Like suppose I have given 1, 3, 5, 7 and so on. Okay. Now what is this? This is a arrangement of numbers and the numbers are having some relation with each other. Like this, I can get this number use adding 2 in this and again this by adding 2 and this way I have got this sequence. Suppose I have given 1, 4 and 16, 64 and so on. Now again we can get this arrangement with multiplying each number with 4. In this way we can easily find some sequences. What is sequence? Sequence is a arrangement of sub number in a specific order. Like this 1, 4, 9, 16. This is also a sequence because here we are getting this using squaring 1, squaring 2, squaring 3, squaring 4 and so on. It means this sequence we are getting when we are squaring a natural number and belongs to and. This is our sequence. Sequence means specific order of numbers when each number can be obtained. Each number can be obtained using some relation. Here the relation is n square. Here the relation means what we are doing, an is getting from when we have multiplied the previous term with 4. Here we get nth term when we added 2 in previous term. So this all are the example of sequence. Now each term or each number is called term. I can represent it like this. This is suppose A1, A2, A3, A4 and so on, and up to infinity. This each number means we have the terms. We will not say this is the first number, second number. We will say this is the first term, second term, third term and so on. And each term we can get using some relations. So sequence is a specific order of terms where each term can be obtained using some specific relations and conditions. Is it clear? Now, what is series? What is series? We are using two words, sequence and series. Sequence means we are writing the terms A1, A2, A3 and up to an and so on. We have many terms here. If we have finite number of terms, it means we can count how many terms are there. Then that sequence is called finite sequence. If we have infinite number of terms, then that is called infinite sequence. Now, what is series? Series means simply when we write all these terms of a sequence with the addition sign. What we have done? I have just put it addition sign. Due to this addition sign, now this is called series, and we can also write as summation of a n. This is a Greek symbol, summation. We call it sigma. Sigma means when we are putting the values of n from 1 to n or up to infinity. If it is an infinite sequence, it means up to infinity. If it is a finite sequence, then up to the last term. Now, there are only one difference between sequence and series. In the sequence, we are writing the terms separated by comma, and in the series, we are writing all the terms using addition sign. Is it clear, students? Sequence and series. Now, in the both conditions, since I have said you that in the sequence, each term we get from some relation with previous term or maybe with natural number. In the both conditions, the domain is natural number. It means first term will be we get from first natural number, that is 1, and second term will be get with second natural number, that is 2, and so on, or maybe with the previous term. There are two types of relation could be happen. First relation, when we find some term using natural numbers, and maybe we are finding the nth term with previous term. Is it clear? Now, for example, suppose I have given that an is n minus 2 upon 2. N minus 2 upon 2. It means the nth term is depending on natural number n. Here the domain is 1, 2, 3 and so on. What is the first term? First term will be put 1 minus 2 upon 2, that is minus 1 upon 2. What will the second term? That will be 2 minus 2 upon 2, that is 0. Third term will be 3 minus 2 upon 2, that is 1 upon 2. And similarly we can find fourth term, that is 4 minus 2 upon 2, that is 2 upon 2, that is 1, and so on. Okay, then what is the corresponding sequence? The corresponding sequence is minus 1 upon 2, 0, 1 upon 2, 1 and so on. And what is the series? The series will be written with addition sign. Is it clear? Here this sequence of series is the infinite series because we don't have the last term. How many terms are there? We don't know about it. That's why this is infinite. There are so many terms. We will put the natural number from n to infinity. But if we are given that, in the same question, if we are given that n is less than equal to 10, n is less than equal to 10, it means the last term will be, suppose that in this question, we are given the last term, that we have total 10 terms. Then what is the a term? This is 10 minus 2 upon 2, that is 4. Okay, it means the last term is 4. Now it became the finite series and sequence. Is it clear? Each member is called term. If we have infinite term, then that is called infinite sequence or infinite series. If we have finite number of terms, then that is called finite sequence and finite series. In the sequence, we write each term separated by comma, and in the series, we write each term with addition sign. That is also can be written as sum of a n. Let us consider a question. Here we are given the first term and second term, that is 1, And after that, for third term, we have given a relation for an. Given that n is greater than 2, it means we cannot take n equal to 1. We will take n equal to 3, 4 and so on. Find the sequence and series. After that, we also need to find an plus 1 upon an for n equal to 1 to 5. Now, first, we are given a1 equals to 1, a2 equals to again 1, a3 will be equal to, using the relation, what is the relation given? an minus 1 plus an minus 2. Then for n equal to 3, we will take this relation for n greater than 2. It means from 3. And n is a natural number here. For n equal to 3, a3 will be equal to a3 minus 1, that is 2, plus a3 minus 2 means a1. It means 1 plus 1, that is 2. Again, for n equal to 4, we will get a4. That is, a4 means putting n equal to 4 here. In this relation, we will get, this is for n greater than 2. We will get 4 minus 1, that is 3, plus a2. What is a3? a3 is 2. What is a4? What is a2? a2 is 1. It means 3. For n equal to 5, we will get a5 means a4 plus a3. Put the values here. a4 means 3, a3 means 2. That is 5. For n equal to 6, we will get a6 is equals to a5 plus a4. a5 means 5, a4 means 3, that is 8, and so on. Now, what is the sequence here? We get the sequence. We will write to you. What is the corresponding sequence? Sequence is, we will start writing for first term. 1, second term is 1, third term is 2, fourth term is 3, 5, 8 and so on. And the series is 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 8 and so on. This is your first part of question. Now for second part, we need to find the ratio for n equal to 1 to n. For n plus 1 upon an. For n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5. For n equal to 1, what is here? 1 plus 1, 2, a2 upon a1. a2 upon a1, that is 1 upon 1. This is 1. For n equal to 2, this will become a3 upon a2. a3 is 2 and a2 is 1, that is 2. For n equal to 3, we got a4 upon a3. a4 is 3, 3 upon 2. That will remain same. We cannot simplify more it. For n equal to 4, a5 upon a4. That is 5 upon 3. For n equal to 5, we got a6 upon a5. What is a6? 8. 8 upon 5. Is it clear, students? Here the nth term is depend on previous terms, and this is sequence when we have separated this comma, and this is series. In the sequence or series, there could be any relation between two terms. It may be depend on natural number or it may be depend on previous term. Is it? I thought it is clear with this. In the previous class, you have learned about arithmetic progression. What is arithmetic progression or arithmetic sequence? Any sequence, if I am given any sequence A1, A2, A3 and An. Any sequence where the difference of two terms is fixed. It means A2 minus A1 will be equal to A3 minus A2 will be equal to A4 minus A3 and so on. That will be equal to An minus 1. If the difference of two terms is constant, then that sequence is called arithmetic progression or arithmetic sequence. We denote this as a D. We denote the difference of two terms as a D. This is called common difference. This is called common difference. Now look at here. I can write A1 as A1. Remember that the difference of two terms is fixed, but for first term, this relation is not useful because we cannot find the difference of first term and previous term. So, the difference between term and previous term will be the same, but that will be not applicable for first term. A1 can be written as A1. How could we write A2? A2 means A1 plus D because the difference is same. How could write be A3? That is A2 plus D. With adding something, we will get the next term. A4 means A3 plus D. I can write it here. That is A1 plus 2 minus 1 D. To making a relation with this 2, I have just manipulated this term. I have written this 1 as 2 minus 1. How could we write this? A2 is A1 plus D and 1 D we already have. That is again D. It means A1 plus 2D. To making a relation with 3, I can write A1 plus 3 minus 1 D. And for A4, write the value of A3, that is A1 plus 2D and 1D again we have, that is A1 plus 3D. What is the relation with 4? That will be A1 plus 4 minus 1 into D. Is it clear? Thus similarly, we can write An as A1 plus n minus 1 into D. Look at here, second term we will get when we added A1 plus n minus 1 times D, 2 minus 1 times D. For third term, we have, what have we done? A1 plus 3 minus 1 times D. For A4, A1 plus 4 minus 1 times D. So, for An, A1 plus n minus 1 times D. Here we have 4 minus 1 times D. For A3, we have 3 minus 1 times D. For A2, we have 2 minus 1 times D. So, for An, we have n minus 1 times D. This is the formula for nth term. Nth term of UP. Now find the sum of n terms. Sum of n terms. We denote it as Sn. The sum of n terms is denoted as Sn. What n terms we have? First term will be A1, second term will be A2, A3 and up to En. It means we have added n terms. We need to find the formula for Sn. I can write it like this: a1 plus d, a1 plus 2d, and this last term is a1 plus n minus 1 into d. There's nothing to change. I have just making the relation between a1 and the nth term. Repeating the same term from back side. What we get? Sn will be equal to a1 plus n minus 1 into d. What will the second term? That will be subtract minus 1. That will be a1 plus n minus 2 into d, and so on. At the last, we will get at a1. Now add equation 1 and equation 2. We got that 2 times Sn will be equal to what we have here, this term, adding both of this term, 2 times a1 plus n minus 1 into d. This 2 terms we have added. Similarly, add second term, we get 2 times a1 plus n minus 2 plus 1d. It means n minus 1 d. Okay? And at the last, we will get 2 times a1 plus n minus 1 into d. Is it clear? Now what happened here? We got the same terms. How many times? N times, because first term, second term, third term, n terms. Again we have here n terms. We have added first term, second term, and n terms. It means total we have here n terms. 2 times Sn will be equal to 2a1 plus n minus 1 into d. This term we have n times. N term means I can say if I am writing 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 4 times, it means 4 into 2. It means we have added this term n times. It means this term into n. What we get? 2Sn will be equal to n times 2a1 plus n minus 1 into d. Or I can write Sn is equals to n upon 2 2a1 plus n minus 1 into d. This is the required formula for sum of n terms. Now we will take some example. This is an NCERT question. How many terms of AP is given to us are required to give the sum minus 25? We need to find how many terms we require. It means what is given to us? AP is given to us, that is minus 6, minus 11 upon 2, minus 5, and so on. What will be D here? That is common difference. Difference between two consecutive terms. It means minus 11 upon 2 minus 6. That is, it means I have done A2 minus A1. We get minus 11 upon 2 plus 6, that is 1 upon 2. Is it clear? Now, we have D, we have sum. We need sum minus 25. Sum is minus 25. We need to find n. How many terms we need to add? Use the formula for Sn. We have formula that Sn equals to n by 2. That is 2 times a1 plus n minus 1 into d. Put all the values here. What we get? Sn equals to minus 25 equals to n by 2 a1 2 times minus 6 plus n minus 1 into d means 1 upon 2. What we get here? That is minus 50 equals to n minus 12 plus we taking 2, this 2 again outside, it means that will be minus 24 and that will be 100. We have taken this 2 outside. That will be n minus 1. Okay, it means minus 100 equals to n minus 25 plus n. That will be minus 100 minus 25n plus n square. How can we write it? N square minus 25 plus 25n plus 100 will equal to 0. Now simplifying this, we get n square minus 20n minus 5n plus 100 equals to 0. You can also solve it by using Sridhar Acharya formula. We get n minus 20 and n minus 5 here. It means n will be 20 or maybe 5. Here we got two solutions and both are correct, because after some negative term there will be again started with positive term, and the total will be minus 25 we get when we will add 5 terms, and also we will get minus 25 when we add 20 terms. If there is any term, if in the values of n any value is negative, then we will eliminate that value, because the number of terms cannot be negative. Let us consider a question. We are given that the sum of n terms of two APs are ratios are given to us, and find the ratio of 18th term. What we are given? Given that sum of n terms of first AP and sum of n term of second AP. I am marking dash here so that I can easily distinguish between first and second AP. This is 5n plus 4 upon 9n plus 6. And we need to find nth term, 18th term of first AP upon 18th term of second AP. Okay? Let first AP is like A1, A2 and so on. And the common difference is suppose D. And second AP is A1 dash, A2 dash and so on, and the common difference is D dash. Okay. Now put all the values in given condition. Given condition is Sn upon Sn dash, that is equals to, what is the formula for Sn? That is n by 2 A1 plus n minus 1 into D upon n by 2 A1 dash. For this for second, so A1 dash plus n minus 1 into D dash. I have not put it dash on n because the number of terms is same, nth term. This term and this term is cancelled out. This is equals to 5n plus 4 upon 9n plus 6. Okay. Now we have 2a1 plus n minus 1 into d upon 2a1 dash plus n minus 1 into d dash. That is equals to 5n plus 4 upon 9n plus 6. What do we need to find? 18th term. 18th term means a1 plus 17d, or for second AP a1 dash plus 17d dash. Compare both the conditions here and here. What we will get? Let's simplify something here. Taking 2 as common, so we will have same term a1 and a1. What we get? get a1 taking 2 common plus n minus 1 into upon 2 into d, and in the denominator 2 a1 dash plus n minus 1 upon 2 into d dash. That is equals to 5n plus 4 upon 9n plus 6. Is it clear? 2 and 2 is again cancelled out. At the place of, compare both the term, we need at the place of a1 plus n minus 1 upon 2d, what we need? a1 plus 17d. a1 cancelled out. We got d and d cancelled out. After cancelling a1, we got n minus 1 upon 2 into d will be equal to 17d. Now d and d cancelled out. We will remain that n minus 1 upon 2 is equal to 17. It means n will be equal to 35. Now put this value of n in this equation first. What we get? Putting the value of n in this equation, we get a1 plus 17d upon a1 dash plus 17d dash. Putting 35 here, 35 minus 1 upon 2, that is 17. That will be equal to 5 and is 35. 35 plus 4 upon 9 into 35 plus 6. It means this is a1 upon a18 upon a18 dash will be equal to 5 into 35 plus 4 upon 9 into 35 plus 6. This is our required result. I thought you are clear with this. In the next module, we will take some more problems depending on AP. Thank you class, it is sufficient for today. We will continue this topic in the next module.